Hello, beautiful people from across the lands. It is your girl, Tashana Nicole. Join me on my journey to financial independence by eliminating debt, creating multiple streams of income, and inspiring others to dream again. Hello, if you are new here, welcome back to my hopeful folk for returning. Today's video, I want to talk about a topic that is so fundamental on a journey to financial independence, and that is investing. Now, this is not financial advice. This is not, I am not, certified in this area. Again, this is just me sharing my journey and my perspective on this. So do not take this as any type of legal counsel. But there are some questions I think that are very, very important that you need to ask yourself before you get started on your investment journey that we're going to get into today. So let's get into it. The first question you may want to ask yourself is, do I want to pay off debt before investing? Now, if you've been doing any type of research or reading any type of content when it comes to finances and paying off debt and investing, there are two very strong opposite views on this. Some people say, do not touch your debt. Do not touch investing until you have paid down all of your debt. It's not a priority right now. Focus on getting rid of that debt first before you even think about investing. And some people say, you can do both simultaneously. And in the beginning of my journey, I was solely focused on paying down my debt. I didn't want to touch investing at the time. I didn't even understand what investing was really all about. So it didn't bother me to not even do it because I wasn't even doing it to begin with. But the more I began to learn about personal finance and learn about the fundamentals as it came to investing, there were certain avenues of investing that I was willing to do that kind of made sense to me, although I am on a debt freedom journey. So I am not here to tell you which one is right or wrong, which one, even if mathematically one move may make sense more than the other. Again, this journey is personalized to you and what you want to do for your financial situation. And so I do think though, on this journey, that is something you kind of need to identify and see where you are in your finances. If you want to pay off debt first and then focus on investing, or if you want to focus on investing first and pay down debt, or if you want to try to work the two simultaneously. That is something that you want to get clarity on the very beginning. Number two, do I have a solid emergency fund? Now, this is very important because with investing, although like I share, investing does have that capacity for your money to grow in your favor, there also is some level of risk. So I think when it comes to the very basic funding for personal finances, you need to have your budget in order, and you definitely need to have an emergency fund in order. I think it's very high risky to go into investments and you don't have the basics covered, which is your basic needs, making sure they're being met. And if anything were to happen, that you do have money set aside to address those emergencies. So having a solid emergency fund put in place is really important. Now, what that amount may look like will be different for you and per household. For me, I think a safe rule of thumb is having at least 3 to 6 months of expenses saved into your into a separate savings account that again is only identified and touched in the case of an emergency. So those numbers will vary because your expenses are different than my expenses, and so it's saying a certain dollar amount is like the threshold for saving may not be applicable for everyone. So I like to use this version instead by looking at what my expenses are that I'm responsible for every month and try to save at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. For me right now, my stopping point is 3 months because I am on a debt-free journey. I'm not really in the place financially to wait until I have 6 months of expenses saved. So reaching that 3-month mark is a little bit more quicker for me to do, and it creates some type of cushion for me to feel okay to stop and go back to adding that extra money towards my debt. So again, this is going to vary per household. How you want to rationalize this is completely up to you, but I do think you need to at least have some type of emergency set aside before you get into investing. Number 3, where should I start investing? Now, there are a lot of different ways that you can invest, whether it be crypto, stock, bonds, index funds, retirement accounts. There are so many different ways for you to actually invest, and what may be comfortable for you, it will be completely up to you to decide. And so becoming familiar with those terms and what they actually mean and what that actual investment may look like, I think it's really important to become knowledgeable first before you just dive into, and importantly, put your money into something that you may not fully understand. So learning those very basic fundamental terms is very important that you should begin to look out for as you're beginning to, start your investing journey. Number 4, what are my investing goals? Now, there are investments that are more focused on long-term gain, or there may be some investments that you can get into that are very short-term, whether you may be into trading stocks and things of that nature. And so I think it's very important before you do anything, whether it be money related, personal related, that you should have a specific goal set in mind so you're not just wanderously, aimlessly, especially with your money when it comes to investing. So if you are a more short-term focused investor, then there's certain things that you will have to do to move accordingly. Versus a long-term investor, you may realize that, this is something that I'm doing now that I may not really want to see or may not see the benefits 5 to 10, maybe even 20 years, down the line. And so you definitely want to get clear on what your investing goals are before you get started and really kind of figure out what type of investing you want to get into, whether it be short or long term. And number 5, where do I want to start investing? With investing, you do not usually invest with a regular checkings or savings account. You have to open up what is called a brokerage account. Now, there is some very well-known brokerage account that has been around for years, like Charles Schwab, Vanguard, Fidelity, and then even some different type of brokerages when it comes to crypto that are out there as well that you can engage in. It's very important that you do research on these different companies, what their fees may be, if there's a minimum balance that may be required, what type of investing is available with the brokerage accounts that they have. And so where you actually want to start this investing journey is very, very important, and making sure you do that research to figure out which brokerage account is best fit for you. I hope you all found today's video helpful. As you all know, I am on a financial independence journey, and it is hard to reach that without some level of investing. So if you are on a journey similar to mine, this is something that we have to become familiar with and knowledgeable with and begin to get comfortable with, begin putting these practices into place. And so investing is something that was very intimidating for me in the beginning. But like I said, as I began to do more research and kind of see what my comfort level was when it came to like risk or the type of investment I wanted to start, I realized that, it's okay. And I'm just going to, start where I am. So definitely remember that it's okay to start where you are. Again, I am not here to say you need to do this or that. It is completely up to you, because at the end of the day, this is your journey and your money. So everybody to mind their own money business. Just saying. Until next time, please remember to dream, believe, and achieve.